Shabbat Shalom, everybody. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden. I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Yah.
And we are the 𝐤𝐄𝐄 and the Torah channel, and we are a little itty tiny family that is out in the middle of the jungles in South America. And as you can, I don't know if you guys can hear, but if you can hear, it's super, super windy today. So there's going to be the background wind noise, and we apologize for that. There's also going to be the background dog noise. We have 9 pit bulls, and they erupt when they choose to, and we apologize for them. And we hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. We hope that you guys are blessed. We hope that you guys are a part of the sign of Yahuwah. Those who observe the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator, including the Shabbat, which is obviously in there, are people who are part of the sign of our Creator. When you are in covenant with Him, when you are observing the appointed times, the appointed days, then that means you are a child of the Most High. You can't be a child of the Most High if you are out there and have said that the laws, statutes, and commandments are nailed to the cross. That is actually blasphemy when you say things of that nature, because there's no world and there's no place that the laws of our Creator would ever be nailed to the cross. When our Messiah said, "It is finished," he was talking about the spiritual curse of breaking the Torah, and that is death. You will die a spiritual death if you do not have the Torah. There's 2 deaths that we have to die. There's a physical death, and there could be a spiritual death. And if you guys are not in covenant, then there will be for sure a second meeting with that second death, and that second death is going to be looking at the eyes of our Creator and His Son, as His Son tells us to depart from Him. And when He says why, He's going to say, because you work lawlessness, because you are Torah-less. And so we are the people who believe that all of those commandments aren't just not done away with, but they are part of our guidestones to life. They are part of every last breath that we have every single day. It's part of everything. And that is what we hope and we wish that you guys would realize and figure out, is that when you are in covenant and you are observing from page 1 all the way to the end of Scriptures, that is what we are called to be. We're not called to just observe 7/8 of the book. And if you have gone out there and for some reason you believe that the laws are no more, and that a gentleman, a rabbi, whose name was Rabbi Shaul, said that the laws are no more, that is a misreading. That is a misunderstanding of what Brother Shaul said. In proper reading, Brother Shaul never ever says what most people think. And here's the problem, is if you take Brother Shaul, Rabbi Shaul's lines where he says the laws are no more, and you go, okay, well, this guy 7/8 of the way through the book has made a statement that I don't understand, and because of the statement that I don't understand, I am going to go ahead and neglect and forsake and get rid of every awesome, amazing thing in my life, which are called the laws of our Creator. Then by default, Rabbi Shaul is your God, and you better hope that Rabbi Shaul is able to redeem you. But Rabbi Shaul never died for our sins. He is just a mere man. And so we have to be very, very, very understanding that we have to take all of the book, all 8/8 of the book, and read it very, very closely and very cautiously, because there's a tremendous amount of information that you can get from the Scriptures. But if you speed read it, if you read bits and pieces of it, if you listen to a guy on a 501c3 church that is on a Sunday worshiping on the wrong day, as he spot reads you Paul, and that's all you know and all you believe, ignorance is not bliss when you're standing in the fire. All of us have 2 eyeballs, most of us do. Most of us have the ability to read, most of us. And we have, in most every house and in every place, you have a phone. You can download your Scriptures. Everybody has an opportunity to seek our Creator if you so choose. If you don't, that is on you. But do not complain about this when you're standing in the fire thinking that I didn't have a chance, because we all get a chance if we're seeking this. Okay, Jaden, give us our reading.
Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart, with all your being, with all your might. And these words I command you today shall be in your heart. And you shall impress them upon your children, and I'll speak of them when you sit in your house, or when you walk by the way, when you lie down, when you rise up. And you shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be phones between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
And I go over this And I'm going to go over this again because this is a very critical verse that if you don't take anything else away from this, our scriptures tell us that we are to love not only scriptures, actually all scriptures, but the Son of the Most High, Elohim Most High, his Son Yahushua, tells us this exact same thing. In fact, when somebody questions him and says, what are the greatest of the commandments? And he's not replying, these are the only commandments, but he says the greatest of the commandments, number one, is to love your Elohim with all your heart, with all your being, and with all your might. Now, he didn't make this up because we had heard about this in Deuteronomy 6. This is part of what walking with our Creator is about. When you love somebody with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your spirit, with everything that you have, then you're going to listen to their words. And the words of our Creator are the Torah. They are the laws that he presented to us. And if you hate somebody, then you don't listen to what they say and you don't care what they say. But if you want to be honest with yourself, that if you truly love your Creator with all your heart, with all your being, and with all your might, then we need to observe these laws, statutes, and commandments, because you cannot love somebody with all your heart, mind, and soul when you hate what they say. All right, so what we're going to do right now is we are going to open us up in prayer. Kate.
First and Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for bringing us all together as a united family, looking for your Torah, looking for your commands, looking for everything that you have given to us. We ask that you continue to bless us as a united family, bless us as one mind, looking for you, looking for your commands, looking for your Torah. We ask that your name is Kodesh, that your name is sanctified, that your day is blessed, and we ask that everything we do is for you, by you, and through you. And we ask all this in Yoshua's name. Amen.
All right. And as you guys can probably hear, this is just blowing here, rocking and rolling. All right, Mr. Cole, who do we got? Say hi to our fam.
I was slow getting in here, so I'm behind. All right, so we have the Grand. We have Jeremy and Callan.
What's up, Callan?
Dade's Rainey. Candy, Ruby, Bonecat 1, Genie Out of This World. I'm scrolling. Obi Lines, we got Chris. We got Emissary of Elohim, but he says refer to him as Kaim. I hope I say that right.
Kaim. Okay.
And
Emissary is Kaim. Say hi, everyone.
And then we have Lisa. We have, I'm scrolling, Elizabeth. And her son. We pray for him daily.
Yes, pray for Armando. He is our little buddy.
And we have Sister Barb. And we have Rosie Chica. I'm still scrolling Worldwide Widow.
Wow, that's a full house today.
Mama CA is here. We have Honeymoon Stitch, Brian.
Whoa.
We have a new name, and I'm going to slaughter this. I know I am.
Try not to.
It's Maestra Carmelita.
Maestra Carmelita.
Yeah.
Hi.
Katrina is here as well.
Hi, Katrina.
And she's new.
Hi, Katrina. Hi, new Katrina.
And I think that's everybody. If I missed you, I apologize.
Okay. All right, yeah, and so if we missed you, we're really super sorry. For those coming in the near future and those who watch after this, much love to all of you guys. Whenever you guys watch us, huge hugs, huge love. And here we are. What is wrong with her son? We do not know. Is this I think it's
Talk about Elizabeth.
Yeah, we're talking about Elizabeth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Armando is. I hope I have the opportunity of saying this. I think she said this on
Hopefully
chat.
it's okay.
Yeah, Liz. So Armand, I'm just going to do it anyway. I hope I don't want to get in trouble. So Elizabeth, keep her son in prayer. His name is Armando. Armando is a amazing dude. I have had the opportunity to write him several times over, and we are discussing all things scriptures. Armando is in a little bit of trouble right now. He is he has a stint in prison, and so he's part of the group of guys that I have got with, that I am, we're actually blessed with, that we're able to spend time with these guys. And so Armando is heavy Christian when it comes into this, and he doesn't want to see anything outside of it. He doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to hear about the Torah. He doesn't want to hear about laws. He doesn't want to hear anything outside of what the Christian rhetoric has taught everybody. And he's just like everybody else who is out there, who doesn't want to. You get stuck with this indoctrination, and with this indoctrination, it's just everything. And it doesn't matter if you guys are in prison, or it doesn't matter if you guys are where you're at. The indoctrination is so deep that it is very, very hard to break through. And so, guys, please keep him in prayer very, very much. And keep me in prayer as well on being able to facilitate my way through these brothers in chains, because it's a little bit different than folks on YouTube, because there's always that chance you can lose them. There's always a chance you can, and I'm not talking about like losing the people out in YouTube land in the comments. I'm talking about losing a dear brother by what you say. And so sometimes we have to tiptoe around different things, especially where people's indoctrinations are included, just to support these guys. And at the end of the day, this isn't about converting people. This is about loving people, and this is about holding the hand of people who have been locked away in chains for a long time. And anybody who has ever had their freedom taken away, it is a bad place to be. And there's very many good people who end up in prison. Tremendous amount of good people that end up in prison as well. And so let us continue. Let us start. What we're going to do right now is we are going to go through these laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. And we are going to, if you guys have any kind of questions out there or anything at all, let us know, and we will pause and we will read through the scriptures. These are these laws that people nailed to the cross. What we're about to read is what the world has rejected. And you will hopefully find, as we're reading through these, that these things are not only non-rejection material, but these things are complete acceptance material, that when we are doing things of this nature, we not are only in covenant with our Creator, but we are better people. Because these things, if you just read the very first three of these commands, is be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. And inside of these three right here that we have, you're not going to find, I mean, what's wrong with being fruitful? What's wrong with multiplying, right? Are we supposed to send our kids off to the abortion clinics? Replenish the earth. We're supposed to repair what we destroy. So as we go through these things are the greatest things I think that have ever been presented to humanity. And if you will listen to them and you will write them on our heart, mind, and soul, like our Creator has told us to do, then as we go through life and as we are tested, when you run into a situation that you need some sort of testing, you need a litmus test for, you always have the Torah to fall back onto. I believe the Torah covers pretty much every last facet of what we will run into in this life. And when we know it, we can walk with our Creator and know how He wants us to walk in all of these situations. By us not knowing this, again, ignorance isn't bliss when we're standing in the fire, because these are what we're supposed to keep for all generations. Okay, so here we are.
I do have to say, emissary of Elohim, Chaim says, please, boys, play some background drums for my healing.
Drums healing? All right, back it up. Let's get some drums. Drum roll. All right, there you go. We got some drum rolls. I don't know what your healing is, brother, but let us know what is going on. We will definitely pray for you. Anyone that needs prayer, drop this into the chat. We can always use prayer here at Boss Clan. We're always on the run as well. Okay. What did Brian say? I missed that.
I always thought that too. Any question?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was.
Sure what.
All right.
Or maybe just the deception, because they were talking about Christianity being the delusion of Hasatan.
Yeah, well, is it Christianity, or is it like every religion out there, right? I mean, you have 41,000, 50,000 different religions that all say they are Christian, and every one of these religions will not obey what it says that we are supposed to do in scriptures. And so this is our brother looks like he's from German.
We have a German guy.
All
I
right.
was going to say, I don't know how to say his name, but shalom.
Yeah, shalom to our German friend. We have no idea how to speak German. That's one thing we don't. Okay, so let us continue on. Guys, this is the laws, statutes, and commandments we're about to read. Number 1, be fruitful.
Multiply.
Replenish the earth, subdue it, have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creature.
The herb bearing and every tree is for food.
Man and woman should build their own families.
Master sin. Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you.
Do not eat the blood.
Walk before me and be perfect.
Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments.
Every male shall be circumcised 8 days old. Teach your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah.
Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations.
Keep the Passover. Keep the feast of unleavened bread, festival of matzah.
There is one Torah for the stranger and one for the Hebrew.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah. There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah.
You shall not make graven images.
Do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught. Keep the Shabbat.
Honor your parents.
Do not kill. Do not break wedlock.
Do not steal.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbor. Do not covet anything of your neighbor's.
Do not make an altar from a rock that a tool has touched.
Do not go up to the altar by the steps.
If a man steals cattle, he shall restore it. 5 times.
Yahuwah's laws for criminals.
Do not lie with a beast.
No sacrifice to other Elohim.
Do not oppress the stranger, fatherless, or widow.
Do not charge your brother interest.
If you borrow your neighbor's raiment, return it to him before sunset.
Do not curse the ruler of your people.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast.
No false report.
Do not follow a multitude of evil.
Do not judge righteously against the poor.
Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray.
Help the animals of your enemy.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers.
Take no bribes.
Do not oppress a stranger. Love the stranger.
Give your land rest in the 7th year.
Do not mention any pagan names.
Keep the feast of Yahuwah.
Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk.
Obey the messenger Yahuwah sends before you.
Do not bow down to other Elohim.
Serve Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land.
Do not make or use anointing oil on a normal person. Do not make or use perfume on a normal person.
Do not eat the fat.
Do what you say you are going to do.
Return what is your neighbor's.
Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws.
Women's time of separation.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws.
Keep the day of atonement.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family.
Do not take your woman's sister for wife.
Do not lie with a woman of uncleanness.
You shall not sacrifice your children to Moloch.
Do not be a sodomite.
Be Kodesh.
Do not reap the corners of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard.
Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor.
Do not lie or be a liar.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due.
Do not harm the disabled.
Do not endanger your neighbor.
Do not hate your brother.
Rebuke your neighbor for his sin.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Do not divert your cattle.
Do not mingle your seed.
Do not mingle in an wool.
Do not lie with the taken woman.
Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years.
Do not practice sorcery.
Do not round your beard the corners of your head.
Do not cut yourself for the dead.
Do not get tattoos.
Do not prostitute your daughter.
Do not defile your temple.
Do not consult the medium.
Respect your elders.
Have correct weights and measures.
Do not walk in the manners of the nation.
Keep the feast of first fruits, Shavuot, Omer count.
Keep the feast of trumpets, Yom Teruah.
Keep the feast of coat, Shemini Atzareth.
If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death.
If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another.
Repay injury for injury.
Honor the Jubilee year.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay who you have trespassed against.
The Torah of being a Nazir.
Wear it easy on the 4 corners of your garments.
The laws of whoever touched the corpse.
Follow Yahuwah's law of inheritance.
The law of keeping oath to Yahuwah.
Do not add or take away from the word.
Guard your soul.
Learn to fear Yahuwah.
You shall love Yahuwah with all your heart.
Bind the Torah laws upon your hand and the frontlets between your eyes.
Write the Torah laws on your doorposts.
Do not tempt Yahuwah.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
Circumcise your heart.
Cleave.
Swear by his name.
Destroy graven images.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah as the pagans do to their Elohim.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with.
Do not do what is right in your own eyes.
Do not hearken to the words of false prophets.
Do not make any baldness in your eyes to the dead.
You shall not eat any abominable thing.
You shall give to a stranger clean food that dies of itself, but you shall not eat of it.
Give tithe of your increase of seed year by year.
Laws of the end of the 7-year release.
Do not borrow from the nations.
Do not harden your heart nor shut your hand from the poor.
Guard month 1 of Yahuwah's calendar.
3 times a year, all males shall appear before Yahuwah.
You shall make judges and officers in all your gates.
Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar.
There must be 2 or 3 witnesses.
Hearken unto the prophet who has chosen.
Prophetess of Deuteronomy.
Do not remove your neighbor's property line.
How to deal with a false witness among Torah keepers.
The first child is to get double portions.
If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them.
A woman should not wear what pertains to a man, nor a man wear what pertains to a woman.
If you find a bird's nest with the mother and the babies or eggs, take the babies, but not the mother.
If you build a new house with flat roof that they lived on, you must put a railing around it.
Do not be a prostitute.
Do not use dirty money.
Law of divorce.
Do not take a person's millstone for a pledge.
If you lend your brother, do not enter his house to eat your payment. He must bring it to you and return his clothing before sunset, if that was his pledge.
Do not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy.
Every man shall be put to death for his own sin.
Do not go back to the forgotten sheep in the field, leave for the stranger, fatherless, and widow.
Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain.
If your brother dies and has no child, you shall take his wife and name the firstborn after your brother.
At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the Feast of Sukkot.
All right. So there we go, brothers and sisters. That is these laws, statutes, and commandments. And these are the, I don't know. I just call them the greatest things. I mean, they're, you know, they have the saying, the greatest thing since chopped cheese or sliced cheese or something of the sort. This is the greatest thing besides having life of in and of itself. You know, life is a miracle, but then you have a creator who is willing to give us a set of guidelines that he says will help you. And he also says that not only if you keep these will you have a better life, But he also says, with them come blessings. You will have blessings for keeping them. Our Creator realizes that you are an obedient child. He realizes that you are in covenant. He realizes that you love him because you are obedient to him and you are willing to do what the rest of the world is not. And guys, the rest of the world is very, very anti-Torah. Most of the world, even those who are in the Torah community, you see the actions and the fruits of them, and it is just extremely wild. And you wonder how it is that they are in Torah. So, guys, the narrow path is simply that. It is a very narrow path, and there's danger to the left, or there's danger to the right. There's always danger from Hasatan, and Hasatan hates Torah keepers. If you want to have affliction in your life, then be a Torah keeper, because Hasatan will always be on your heels. But our Creator, Elohim Most High, knows who's on our heels, and he protects us with messengers. He protects us with supernatural protection, and I will tell you that is the truth. From the world that I have seen and the world that I experience, there is absolute supernatural protection around, especially around our family. And in the dangerous world that we live in down here, we have been supernaturally protected for years and years and years beyond. It's out of control, the kind of protection that we have. And all I can do is sit here and tell you that there is something supernatural that has protected us. It's an amazing thing. And so I hope that you guys, in your covenant with Yah, you guys feel that same protection, because it's there. It is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, there. Okay, let us continue on here. Okay, now we're reading in Exodus. For anybody who has been with us reading, last night I seen only ham at the food market. Yeah, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Yeah, and then that's, for people that, Leviticus 11, you don't get a better understanding. Right? Leviticus 11 tells us everything is clean, tells us everything is unclean. And when you research Leviticus 11 and you look at the food, and okay, so you can't eat roadkill. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because you run up on a piece of roadkill and there's like all these like infestations and maggots and stuff, and whatever you slice up and dice on that thing, it's probably going to be a little unhealthy. We're told not to eat shrimp, right? Because you could take a pile of shrimp and put it in a bucket of polluted water, and inside about 2 or 3 weeks, that water is completely clean. So all of those shrimp will sit there and they will suck up all of that pollution. And what they are is they are little hormone packets. And so you guys will go and you'll dip that little hormone packet in there and you crunch that baby in your mouth. It busts open all of that nastiness. I just won't continue on, right? That's what we're doing. And that is why we have the Torah. That's why we have the laws of our Creator. So we're not out there eating pig when it's obviously a very, very bad animal that we should not be eating. They are nature's janitors that eat literally everything. And this is why the Torah is amazing. All right. So let us go into this, Jade. What is happening right here in Exodus 32? What is happening prior to this, or anybody?
So
Kate.
we have Yisrael, and they're fresh out of Egypt. They were doing all these little travels. They met up with Jethro. Jethro set them up for commanders. They moved on, and they ended up in Sinai. They ended up in Mount Sinai, and now this is where Yahuwah gives them all the commands. And the Israelites got real scared, and they said, "No, don't let us talk to them. We'll die. We're scared. You go talk to them, and you come back, and we'll listen to you. How about that?" And Moses said, "So be it." And Yah said, "So be it." So Moshe is up on the mountain, and he's just getting all the commands, getting the things ready for the temple, all the preparations, all the plans, everything that they need. And now we have the Israelites who are waiting for him.
Yeah, and I don't know about krill oil, whatever that is. But they say it's good for you, but it comes from shrimp. I don't know anything about that other than I wouldn't, like, if they had like a pig oil or something like that made your skin like really soft. I don't think I'd be putting pig oil on me or whatever it is. It's like whenever I see anything with pig or like things that have pig in there, it's really gross. We'll even make fun of the pig on the store shelves and stuff. And I tell Eli, go touch that, and he won't touch it, of course. But I mean, that's the thing is those things are abominations to us. And so if it comes from an unclean animal, I don't think I'd be taking krill oil for whatever that is. Honestly, and I might be wrong. So it might be some miracle thing, but we're not to eat those things. So here we go. Okay, Exodus 32. And when the people saw that Moshe was so long in coming down from the mountain, the people gathered together to Aaron and said to him, "Arise, make us mighty ones who go before us. For this Moshe, the man who brought us up out of the land of Mitzrayim, we do not know what has become of him." Now, how long has he been up here, guys?
40 days.
40 days. 40 days, and his people gave up on him, right? So we're out a month and 10 days, right? And all of the people are like, well, this dude is gone. Aaron, make this stuff. So right out of the gate, Aaron has a choice right here, right? Aaron can either probably die, or he could probably do what these people want him to do. So if he didn't do what he's about to do, they probably would pick up rocks and killed him, more than likely.
They also probably think that Moses is dead because
They think he's dead.
The things they saw when the mountain first started storming, all that, you're like, nah, he's dead. He went up there and he died.
Yep. Okay. 2, and Aaron said to them, take off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me. All right. Now, why would the sons have golden earrings in their ears? It's in the 80s. This ain't the 90s.
They're fresh out of Egypt, right? Everyone in Egypt had their head shaved. They all had their earrings, all the jewelry. They all had their pagan ways.
I can't even remember kids getting earrings up until like the late 80s and 90s, where boys started getting. That was a thing. Nobody ever had earrings, and then the boys started putting earrings and things up in their hair. Where did this come from? Earrings?
Egypt, I think
Egypt,
it's all Egyptian, so the jewelry and everything they have.
Absolutely. So the kids, they're out there, and the kids still have this stuff on, right? They look like Egyptians, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's why, like, when Jacob told his family, like, put all your jewelry, all your earrings, take them off, give them to me, and then he buried them under a tree. They all have their pagan ways. Like, it seems like the pagans are very into the jewelry fashion of things.
They love their jewelry. Okay, and all the people took off the golden earrings, which were in their ears, and brought them to Aaron. And he took them from their hand, and he formed it with an engraving tool and made a molded calf.
How long do you think this took? How big was this?
Well, I was about to ask you that in like half the sentence. And they said, this is your mighty one, O Yisrael, that brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. All right, now let's go over that. Okay.
How big was this thing?
I don't know how big it was, but how long do you think this took? I mean, because this is something.
Maybe it's something small. Maybe it's like something really small, like a handheld thing.
So if we're dealing with gold, we're dealing with fire that is extremely, extremely hot.
How does Aaron know how to do this?
I don't know how. I'm sure the people of Israel know how. There's people within this tribes that know how to do gold smelting. But I don't think this is something that is. I mean, this would probably take a day or 2 days, I would imagine. I don't know how fast they could get something like this done. But what we're hearing in verse 4 is that basically they just gave them the stuff and voila, it was there. But I think this took a little bit of time, right? I don't know so much. They'd have to cast something. I think they'd have to cast like the calf, and then they pour the gold in there. And so I don't know. It seems like 3 ounce. I got you. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Reading what emissary said. This is your mighty one. Okay, where are we at? 4? 5. And Aaron saw and built an altar before it. And Aaron called out and said, tomorrow is a festival to Yahuwah. This, guys, this right here is the Christian conundrum, right? This is the same thing the Israelites did in the early days of their career. Is the same thing that everybody says, right? Because you have Christmas, and everybody goes, hey, December 25th, this is a festival to Jesus. Then you have Easter, and everyone's like, oh, Jesus was born. That's a festival to Jesus. Then you have, what?
Easter's his resurrection.
Yeah, resurrection. Regardless, it's a festival, right?
Yes.
It's a festival to them. So all of these people are making these, like, let's say Thanksgiving Day, right? It's not a festival to Yahuwah, but it's a man-made festival. Every one of these things are the problem with this. When people go, God knows my heart. The people of Israel right here, they really thought that they were going to be serving Yahuwah, right? They got this golden calf. They thought this was the way to the future, and they thought that Yah knew their heart. And because of this, everything is about to change. 6. And they rose early on the next day and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Now, can you imagine this when we have the 2 kids of Aaron that offered up strange fire and got smoted? This will be coming up, right?
Yeah,
I don't think it's happened yet. But then you have people who are they're literally offering burnt offerings. They're killing the animals in the name of Yah and doing it all completely wrong because these guys, they do not have a Levitical priesthood yet. They do not have the formation of exactly what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do this kind of stuff. And so they're essentially offering up offerings to other gods. And then it goes, and the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play, right? And who knows what that is, right? They're coming out of Egyptian captivity. Who knows what rising up to play is even what they're talking about. 7. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, go, get down, for your people whom you brought out of the land of Mitzrayim have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made themselves a molded calf and have bowed themselves to it and slaughtered to it and said, this is your mighty one, O Yisrael, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, I have seen this people, and see, it is a stiff-necked people. And now, let me alone, that my wrath might burn against them, and I consume them, and I make of you a great nation.
Imagine that Moses up there, he's having a conversation with Yah and the messengers, and he's getting all this details and all this stuff. He's like, hold up, they've done something terrible down below. You got to deal with this.
Well, and that's the thing is Yahuwah let this happen, right? He allowed the people to contrive this plan to be able to go and put this together. They did all of the stuff that they were doing, and he let it go down to that, right? He didn't stop it before that, and so the people were completely corrupted on this. All right, where are we at now?
You're on 11.
11. Okay, but Moshe. Hold on, let's go on to the thing.
I think we're on 10.
Are we on 10?
No,
Or 11?
we're on 11.
Yeah, because he said, "Let me alone, my wrath will burn." And I think that verse of alone 10 is something to have a conversation about, because most people, if you had the hand of Yah that said, "Listen, I'm going to kill all these people. I'm going to make you the nation. I'm going to make you great," right? And we know that Yah can raise people out of rocks, right? He can build up something out of a rock. He can do whatever it is. He made a woman out of a man. He can do whatever he wants to do. And so he had the creator of the universe saying, "I'm going to wipe out all of Yisrael, and I'm going to make of you a great nation." And a lot of people will go, "All right, well, all right, we can do that." But Moshe, 11, let's go on to 11. But Moshe pleaded with Yahuwah, his Elohim, and said, "Yahuwah, why does your wrath burn against your people whom you brought out of the land of Mitzrayim with great power and with a strong hand? Why should the Mitzrites speak and say, for evil he brought them out to kill them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from the heat of your wrath and relent from this evil to your people." I find this very fascinating that a created entity is able to have this kind of a conversation with the creator of the universe. This is what it's just really amazing to see how our creator is, that he values us enough that he'll have a conversation with us on this. And not only the conversation that he had, but he had the conversation of that, I'm going to wipe off all these people and you're going to be the guy. And Moshe says, "Hey, don't do this." He's like, "Look at all these people. Look at how great you are. Please relent from this wrath. Turn from the heat of your wrath." He's begging for the lives of all of the people there. This is what he's doing. He's begging for the life of all these people. And who knows what Yah would have done if Moshe would have said, "Okay, kill them all," right? Was this a test for Moshe, or was Yah ready to rock and roll, essentially, and take all those people out? Okay, where do we need to switch over to?
After 14.
Okay, so we're on 13. Remember, this is what Moshe is saying to Yah. "Remember Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yisrael, your servants to whom you swore by yourself and said to them, I increase your seed like the stars of the Shamaim, and all this land that I have spoken of I give to your seed, and they shall inherit forever." And again, I find it so fascinating that Moshe can have this conversation that he goes, "Yahuwah, please remember Abraham, Yitzchak, Isaac. You swore by yourself, right? You swore this. Please listen to what you said and don't relent on this." So he's talking Yah down from smiting all these people. Or Moshe is being extremely tested and he's doing very well. 14. "And Yahuwah relented from the evil which he said he would do to his people." Okay, now we're switching over here, guys. This is the Targums, and we are going to read through this as Eli makes everyone's head spin. We have to get down here, so we will get this just in a second. Anyone have anything besides that? You guys have?
No, I think it's just interesting that Moses could talk to Yah, he could change Yah's heart, right? He could change what Yah wanted to do.
So that begs the question: will you guys, in your prayer, be able to sway Yah to do something different, right? If Moshe is able to do this, how much more, or how is it even, I guess it's totally possible that our Creator would change everything.
I think that's where Messiah is, when he said you have to have the faith of a grain of mustard seed.
Yeah.
I think that's where that comes in as well.
Absolutely.
Where you do those things so that Yah would change his mind when you have so much faith and belief in him, and that he sees that.
Messiah also gave us another example when, remember the old lady and the judge, and she went up to the judge wasn't going to hear her, but she kept going at it.
Yeah.
And Messiah clearly tells us that is a way to get communication into his dad. And so, okay, yeah, and to some Yah speaks differently. Absolutely. All right, let's go here. Exodus 32:1. And this is the Targums, guys. This is another version of this. It has a little bit of leaven. We will point out the leaven as we find it, or at least discuss this as we see it. 32:1. But the people saw that Moshe delayed to come down from the mount, and the people gathered together unto Aaron, when they saw that the time he had appointed to them had passed. And Satana, what is this even supposed to say? Oh, Satan. I bet this is Satan. Okay, and Satana had come and caused them to err and perverted their hearts with pride. And they said to him, Arise, make us Elohim that shall go before us. For as for this Moshe, the man who brought us up from the land of Mizraim, he may have been consumed in the mountain by the fire, which flames from before Yahuwah. And we know not what has befallen him in this end. All right, so here is some stuff. This is why this is an interesting read here. And that right here is, and Satan had come and caused them to err and perverted their hearts with pride. This is stuff we read all throughout scriptures, that definitely the hand of Hasatan, the adversary, has this kind of power that he is able to change people's hearts. And Yah will allow times when he's allowing Satan to do things of this nature. And so that's interesting. I found that very interesting. 32:2. And Aaron said to them, Deliver the golden rings that are in the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me. And their wives denied themselves to give their ornaments to their husbands, and all the people at once delivered up the golden earrings which were in the ears and brought them to Aaron. All right, so this is either leaven or this is some sort of weird thing here, because read 32:3, Cade, because it doesn't say anything about the wives denying themselves.
I think denying themselves means like that they
To give
up their desires, right? They want to keep these things. They deny themselves. They
deny-
self-sacrifice for this.
I gotcha. And their wives denied themselves to give their ornaments to their husbands. Okay, so the wives liked all their jewelry, and they fought that
they want
fight.
to keep their jewelry, but they're like
The men wanted their calf.
The greater good.
The greater golden calf. Okay, 32:4. It's interesting. And he took them from their hands and bound them in a wrapper and wrought in a tool, having made a molten calf. And he said, These, Yah are your Elohim, which brought you forth from the land of Mitzrayim. Okay, so this is interesting here. This is, and they wrought it with a tool. Okay, so, and he took them from their hands and bound them in a wrapper. So I think he's talking about all the jewelry, right? And then wrought it with a tool, having made a molten calf. Okay, so I think after he made a molten calf, he engraved it maybe or something. I don't know if that
or
how
they
that
wrapped
works.
it in gold or something. I don't know what the wrapper is.
And wrought it with a tool, having made a molten calf. Okay, so I don't know the actual the process of this, but let's continue on. And he said, These Yah are your Elohim, which brought you forth from the land of Mitzrayim. We still don't know how long this would actually take them. We don't know if this is a day, an afternoon. We don't know the size of this calf. I imagine from all the pictures, the calf was big. Like all these pictures. I mean, there's I don't know.
Meaning hammered it.
Huh?
Emissary says rot meaning hammered it.
Oh, rot meaning hammer. Okay, so they beat the gold. Okay, thanks, Kaim. Okay, that makes sense. So anyway, they beat it out, so it's like looks like a calf or something. Shaped it. Thank you. All right, 32:5. For Aaron had seen her slain before him and was afraid. And he built an altar before him, and Aaron cried with doleful voice and said, Let there be a feast before Yahuwah tomorrow of the sacrifice of the slain of these adversaries who have denied their Yahuwah and have changed the glory of the presence of Yahuwah for this calf. All right, so what this says something ours doesn't say at all. For Aaron had seen her slain before him. All right, who is her? Anyone know who this is?
I don't know if her is.
We don't know who that is.
Calf?
So this is probably why Aaron did it. This probably answers some of it, because some dude named Hur probably went against this multitude, and they all killed him. And so he's like, well, I either die or I make this calf. So that's interesting.
Isn't her one of the Levites? I feel like he's one of the Levites.
I don't believe we've heard of a guy named Kurt.
The only Hur that I know of
It's
was
Kurt in our translation, right?
yeah, was a guy who was a friend of Yahudah.
Right. Okay.
He's definitely not around that long.
Okay, so let's head. Yeah, so I don't know who that exactly is, but her, I guess, is somebody that got owned by these guys. Okay, 32:6. And on the day following, they arose and sacrificed burnt offerings, and the people sat around to eat and drink, and rose up to disport themselves with strange service. Okay, so again, when our version of it says, and they rose up to play. So this is what the Targum says is strange service. So
Service is definitely some Israelite or
no, some Egyptian thing, man. This is like some pagan
traditions that they had.
dance around with clothes off or something. Who knows? I don't know. Okay, 32:7. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, descend from the greatness of your honor, for I have not given you greatness except on account of Yashrael. But now your people, whom you did bring up from the land of Mitzrayim, have corrupted their works. Quickly have they declined from the way which I taught them in Sinai, that you shall not make yourselves image or figure or any similitude. For now have they made to them a molten calf and have worshipped it and sacrificed to it and proclaimed before it, these are your Elohim, Yashrael, which brought you up from the land of Mitzrayim. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, so that might be it. Caleb the son of Hur. It was Caleb the son of Hur. That sounds right? Mm-hmm. But he would have been long dead at this point, right? Caleb wasn't around at this point.
Caleb was. He was Joshua's.
Oh yeah, Caleb was coming in the future. Oh,
So maybe it was his. Maybe it
was that Joshua's dad or Caleb's dad?
It might have been. No. Wait. Yeah, maybe it was.
I don't know. The Grant had a good point there. We'll have to look that up. I don't know who that is. 32:8 has lots of stuff that does not have in regular scriptures, right? And again, I find this fascinating that Yah watched these people, let it all go down to the fact that they had the calf, they worshipped it, they danced around within their funny little strange dance or whatever, and Yah let it happen, and then he's like, Moshe, get down there. And that's what. So emissary says basically it's going to disappear. Can you read that, Mystical?
Yep. Basically, they murdered Aaron's dear friend in front of him at his feet and told Aaron that if he didn't make the calves, multiple, not just one, that they would slay him the same.
Yeah, so that makes a lot more sense than anything. But where do we get that from? Where do we know that? How do we some extracurricular book? Caim? How'd you know this? But yeah, I mean that's what exactly it sounded like. All right, so 32:9. The pride of this people is manifest before me, and behold, it is a people of hard neck. And now cease from your prayer and cry not for them before me, for I will let my anger burn like a strong fire against them and consume them, and I will make you a great people.
Sister Barb says it's in the Aramaic writings.
Wow, nice. Okay, cool. Good to know. We'd have to read those things. Where they're at. I haven't seen those. Okay, 32:11 says, and Moshe was shaken with fear and began to pray before Yahuwah, his Elohim. And he said, wherefore should your wrath, O Yahuwah, prevail against your people whom you did bring up from the land of Mitzrayim with great power and with a mighty hand? Why should the misery who are remaining say it was for evil that he led them out, to kill them among the mountains of Sinai, and to destroy them from the face of the earth? Let there be relenting before you over the evil that you have done to your people. Okay, again, this is the hand, the voice of Moshe, right? That is able to turn Yah out. And does Moshe have a point right here? That if he burned up all these people, the people in mountains of Tabor and Hermon and Siron and Sinai, they would all laugh at him, right? The people of Mitzrayim, they would say, look, he just pulled them out and then he killed them all, right? All of a sudden, it would be like the great Elohim is like, now he just wiped them all out. And nobody would understand. Nobody would get it. Okay, 32:13. Remember Abraham and Ishak and Yashrael, your servants, to whom you did swear in your word, and did say to them, I will multiply your children as the stars of the heavens, and all this land of which I have told you I will give to your sons, and they shall inherit forever. And there was relenting before Yahuwah over the evil which he had thought to do unto his people. Okay, now we're heading back into Yah's scriptures right here. All right, thanks, Caim. Okay. So here we are on 15 in Yah's scriptures. And Moshe turned and went down from the mountain, and in his hand were the two tablets of the witness, tablets written on both their sides, written on one and on the other. And the tablets were the work of Elohim, and the writing was the writing of Elohim, engraved on the tablets. And Yahushua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, and he said to Moshe, a noise of battle in the camp. But he said, it is not the sound of those who shout or of might, nor is it the sound of those who cry out in weakness, but the sound of singing that I hear. And it came to be as soon as he came near the camp that he saw the calf and the dancing. And Moshe's displeasure burned, and he threw the tablets out of his hand and broke them at the foot of the mountain. Now, what do you guys make of this, right? He knew of this, right? This shouldn't have been a surprise, right? Yah told him the people had corrupted themselves.
I don't think he understood the magnitude of it, but I do think
Yah just told him they corrupted themselves. He told them they worshipped a golden idol.
Then he saw with his own eyes it was even worse.
And then he couldn't take it, and he just threw it down.
That was a bad decision on his part to break those. He could have broken something else, honestly.
So he asked Yahuwah not to be angry, and then to preside his wrath. Then he goes and use his wrath.
Yeah. Okay. 19. And it came to be, as soon as he came near the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing, and Moshe's displeasure burned. He threw the tablets out of his hand and broke them at the foot of the mountain. And he took the calf, which they had made, and burned it in the fire, and ground it into powder, and scattered it on the face of the water, and made the children of Yisrael drink it. Okay, what do you guys think that? What do you think that was like? What do you think that did to them?
Can't be very good.
It can be healthy.
I mean, you're drinking metal. I mean, it's like I guess it doesn't matter anymore because all the cereal you buy in the store, if you take a magnet and you put a magnet over your store-bought food, it will move all around. So they duplicated the powers that be, duplicated all of the bad food, and they gave it to us in these dimes, and I guess we drink it now. But what do you guys think? He ground into a fine powder. You think it would do anything to anybody?
Probably make him sick.
You think?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. Depends how big this thing was, I guess.
Depends on
How
how
much
much
metal.
It says he ground it into powder and scattered it on the face of the water. So we're talking about the gold being back into flakes. Or
Now,
being
why
back
why didn't Yisrael jump him? Why didn't they take him and kill him when he
Oh,
was
you don't
doing
mess
this?
with the Moshe, bro. You don't
Because
mess with
was their
Moshe.
leader. They didn't know where he was, and he came back. So
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, all right, let's continue on. 21. And Moshe said to Aaron, "What did this people do to you, that you have brought so great a sin upon them?" And Aaron said, "Do not let the displeasure of my master burn. You know the people, for evil is in them." And they said to me, "Make us mighty ones who go before you. For this Moshe, the man who brought us out of the land of Mitzrayim, we do not know what has become of him." And I said to them, "Whoever has gold, let them take it off." And they gave it to me, and I threw it in the fire, and this calf came out. All right. What do you make of that?
He says like
I just tossed in the fire. It sounded like a Betty Crocker bake meal or something. Just stick it in a bowl, stick it in the thing, and it popped. It just came out, right?
You know, he says that they didn't do any engraving or anything worth it.
It just came out, Moshe. You know,
happened.
it was just like this, right? And that's the thing. How much work actually went in to mold this the calf base before they actually were able to pull this in? I don't know.
Brand says gold is antibacterial and antiviral. Maybe it helped clean them out.
Yeah, maybe they're maybe this was like a health thing for them or something. But anyway, yeah. So it's probably not great, and whoever's sitting there drinking the drinking that stuff isn't going to be very happy with this whole thing. Okay, 25. And Moshe saw that the people were let loose, and Aaron had them let loose to their shame among their enemies.
So
I think that means they're naked.
Yeah, in Sefer it says they were naked.
And so right here, and Moshe saw that people were let loose for Aaron.
People were naked for Aaron.
So we have this like awesome dude Moshe. He's like all prim and proper, coming down off the mountain. Just had 40 days. Probably didn't have anything to eat. Probably like kind of thirsty as well. And he sees all these dudes down there, and the clothes are all off, dancing around a golden calf, partying it up. Probably a bigger party than they had in Egypt, right? I mean, I'm sure they had some wingdingers in there, but this was probably one of these parties. I mean, they just all let loose, right? And so these are the people. And again, we have to understand that Yah is about to cut off things like appointed times for this generation, right? Circumcision is going to be cut off. We find out later that none of these people in the wandering were ever circumcised. So essentially, these guys all dancing around. That was the end of the line for them, right? Yah let them live to their death, but they probably all died not very happily. So this is interesting. Yeah, modern day medical is the golden calf of today. Are you talking like the rod of Hermes, like the rod that's in the hands? I think maybe I don't know what the golden calf today, but yeah. Modern day medical. Yeah, I think that's golden. And the rod, for anyone who doesn't know, the medical industry, which I don't say anything about on YouTube, but they have this little rod in their hand, and it is actually the rod of Zeus. It's the rod of Hermes is what they call it. Zeus had it in his hand, and it has a bunch of snakes that go up it. Yeah, there's so much cultish stuff all around us. It's a tragedy we live in this society. All right, what do you got?
Haim says basically Moshe threw the tablets at the full tilt abomination party and blew it up. And he died.
Yeah, he did. He dropped the mic on that one, huh? That was it. That was a mic drop, and all of a sudden everybody's all naked looking up at Moshe, and the tablets are all broken, and it's over. The party stopped. It's like your parents walked in the house when they were gone for a vacation. They came in 3 days early, and you were having a rager. That's what happened. Okay, 25. And 26, actually. And it's the wind is just howling here, guys. And Moshe stood in the entrance of the camp and said, "Who is for Yahuwah? To me. Who is for Yahuwah? To me." And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves to him. And he said to them, "Thus said Yahuwah, Elohim of Yisrael, each one put his sword on his side, pass over to and fro from gate to gate in the camp, and each one slay his brother, and each one his friend, and each one his relative." Okay, so are we suspecting these guys were probably still naked and everybody grabbed their swords and started killing them?
Yeah, probably.
I hope so.
So well, you hope not. This is a perfect time to get slaughtered when you're sitting there. You got nothing on, right? So you got dancing around. All of a sudden, these Levites come at you with their swords, and the command from Moshe was to slay your brother and each one his friend and each one his relative. Do you guys? I mean, what do you guys think of this? This. Could you guys do that? You guys were outside, and Elohim tells you to come in here and slay us all.
Well, I guess it depends. Before we dance
Yeah,
the golden calf.
I don't know if we're dancing. Maybe you get left. All of a sudden, Mr. Cole decides to make a golden calf or something. No? All right. Well, anyway, you don't have earrings anyway. We don't have anything to make this thing with. We make it out of grass or something. Okay. Yeah.
28.
28. And the sons of Lewi did according to the word of Moshe, and about 3,000 men of the people fell that day. It's not a lot, but I'm sure it was quite exciting. I mean, not for the people getting killed. And Moshe said, "You are ordained for Yahuwah today, since each one has been against his son and his brother, so as to bring upon you a barakah today." So the tribe of Lewi right here, something happened right here. Something happened at the golden calf that all of a sudden that they were able to pick up their swords and go kill off all the people they know, and they did it. That here's your Levites, or here's your priests, right? Here's the people that are going forward. Okay, 29. Is it 29? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 30. And it came to be on the next day that Moshe said to the people, You have sinned a great sin, and now I am going up to Yahuwah, if I might atone for your sin. And Moshe returned to Yahuwah and said, Oh, these people have sinned a great sin, and have made for themselves a mighty one of gold. And now, if you would lift their sin, but if not, please blot me out of the book which you have written. Okay, I'm going to finish off this so I don't get nailed with the chat, not being able to see this. Give me a sec, or it's over. Okay, let's talk about this in quick. What did Moshe just say?
He said if Yahuwah didn't want to remove their sin, remove him too.
Yeah, if Yah was not willing to accept his people after they had sinned, then Moshe didn't want to be a part of that as well. So that's more testing for Moshe. This is why
he goes through a lot for these people.
He goes through a ton, man. This guy's the man. He is the man.
Grateful people, man.
Yep. Okay, 32? 33. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, Whoever has sinned against me, I blot him out of my book. And now, go, lead the people to the place of which I have spoken to you. Get it, just a second, guys. 1 second. To you, see my messenger goes before you, and in the day of my visitation I shall visit their sin upon them. And Yahuwah plagued the people, because they made the calf, which Aaron had made. All right, let's head back over to the Targums and let us see what exactly they say on our exit out of this. And we are on 32, what?
15.
32:15. Okay. And Moshe turned and went down from the mount. And the 2 tablets of the testimony were in his hands, inscribed on their 2 sides. Here and there they were inscribed. And the tables were with the work of Yahuwah, and the writing was Yahuwah's writing, inscribed and manifested upon the tables. And Yahushua heard the voice of the people exulting with joy before the calf. And he said to Moshe, There is the voice of battle in the camp. But he said, It is not the voice of the strong, who are victorious in battle, nor the voice of the weak, who are overcome by their adversaries in a fight, but the voice of them who serve with strange service, and who make merriment before it, that I hear. And it was when Moshe came near the camp and saw the calf and the instruments of music in the hands of the wicked, who were dancing and bowing before it, and Hasatan, Satan, among them dancing and leaping before the people, the wrath of Moshe was suddenly kindled, and he cast the tables from his hands and brake them at the foot of the mountain. The set-apart writing that was on them, however, flew and was carried away into the air of the heavens. And he cried and said, Woe upon the people who heard all at Sinai from the mouth of the set-apart one. You shall not make to yourself an image or figure or any likeness, and yet, at the end of 40 days, make a useless molten calf. All right, we get stuff we've never ever heard before. What do you guys make of this? Did you guys hear this part?
Yeah, I
So,
think
he
Satan
threw
would definitely be dancing among them.
Satan's definitely dancing among them, no doubt. He was the ringleader of that circus. And the set-apart writing was on them. However, it says, okay, so this is what it says. It flew and was carried away into the air of the heavens. Do you think that happened? We have nothing anywhere in scriptures. But do you think? I
assume there would be
do you think the writings of Yah, he would allow them to go in his handwriting broken on the ground, or?
Probably not, because we know like all the holy utensils and stuff were carried away by the angels when they got taken out of Babylon.
Yeah.
So he probably definitely took care of this as more of those holy things.
Yeah, that's interesting. So this is
I think it's something like similar to like the clothes of Adam and Eve. Like it has special power to it.
yeah, interesting. So yeah, that's definitely not in regular scriptures, guys. So that's just one of those things to ponder, I suppose. 32:20. And he took the calf which they had made and burned it in fire and bruised it into powder and cast it upon the face of the water of the stream and made the sons of Yashrael drink. And whoever had given thereunto any trinket of gold, the sign of it came forth upon his nostrils. That's interesting. Okay, that is very interesting, isn't it? I mean, this is, again, guys, this is not scriptures right here, right? This is not what we think of as scriptures.
It would be an identifier of who to kill, though.
Well, it would be an identifier of who to kill, and also, I think that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, if you're naked before the calf, that's
you know, drinking the gold, you don't exactly know why. But now, if you're sitting there drinking this, and Yah did some kind of sign upon the face of these people because of that, and made them more outcast, like maybe the sign of Cain, maybe they had the sign of the golden calf or something on their nose. I don't know. It's interesting though. Okay.
21 or 22.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely not a popular topic there. Obi lines. Okay, Chris and Moshe said unto Aaron, "What did this people to you, that you have brought upon them a great sin?" And Aaron said, "Let not my Lord's anger be strong. You know the people, that they are the children of the just, but evil concupiscence has made them to err." I've never heard this word before. Concupiscence. I'm sure the Grand probably has that one, but I don't know what that is. But the evil concupiscence has made them to err. So it must be like Satan or something of the sort. 32:23. And they said to me, "Make us Elohim that may go before us. For this Moshe, the man who brought us up from the land of Mitzrayim, is consumed in the mountain by the flaming fire from before Yahuwah, and we know not what has been done to him in his end." Now this is interesting here. What does yours say, Cade? 32:23.
And they said to me, "Make us mighty ones who go before us, for this
Okay,
Moshe,
I
the
got
man
it.
who."
I didn't get that right. We were saying it. Okay, there we go. Let's continue on.
Lust. The Grand says lust.
Lust. Is that what that is? Okay. Thank you, Gran. Thank you, Grandma. Hey, 32:24. And I said to them, "Whoever has gold, let him deliver it and give it to me." And I cast it in the fire. And Hasatan, Satana, doesn't that look like Santa? Like that's like one, like that's really, really close to how they spell Santa. And Satana entered into it, and there came out of the similitude of this calf. All right, so this one's a little different here, right? This one, so Aaron, first of all, he goes, I just tossed the first scriptures that we read, I just tossed it in there and a calf came out, right? This one, he says, he cast it in the fire and Satan entered into it. And there came out a similitude of the calf. What do you guys make of that? You guys think
Maybe
Satan?
maybe he really did just throw something in there and it came out
Maybe
like
Satan
that.
really did this. Maybe it just came out. Maybe it's witchcraft. Some I don't even know what you call Satan's power. I mean, it's like stronger than witchcraft, but interesting. Okay, 32:25. And monetary ruach gold to purify the internal waters of his people. Yeah, I guess so. 32:25. I'm glad I'm not there drinking that. And Moshe saw that the people were naked, for they had been stripped by the hand of Aaron of the set-apart crown which was upon their head, inscribed and beautified with a great and glorious name, and that their evil report would go forth among the nations, and that they would get to them an evil name unto their generations. Wait, what does this say? For they had been stripped. What does your 32:25 say?
And Moshe saw that the people were let loose.
Oh, let loose. They were naked. Okay, they were let loose. Gotcha. For they had been stripped by the hand of Aaron of the set-apart crown which was upon their head. I think that was metaphorically. I think that's talking about like their set-apart crown. Like he's basically what Aaron did allowed them to continue with their evil. I think is what that's saying. I don't know. Let's continue on. 32:26. And Moshe stood in the gate of the camp and said, "Who fears Yahuwah? Let him come to me." And there gathered to him all the sons of Levi. And he said to them, "Thus has said Yahuwah, the Elohim of Yashrael, whoever has sacrificed to the idols of the Gentiles, let him be slain with the sword. And now go pass through from the camp gate to the gate of the house of judgment in the camp, and with prayer before Yahuwah, that he will forgive you the sin. Take vengeance upon the wicked workers of strange worship, and slay even a man his brother, and a man his companion, and a man his neighbor." Okay, let's roll this. Anything good in chat? There's like Jiving, trying to minimize this crime. Yeah, and Mr. Kaim, I would probably be jiving as well. I would say, these people, I would be pushing this down to the people as much as possible. At this point, it's it's bad news for everybody. Okay. And the sons of Levi did according to the word of Moshe, and of the people who had the mark in their nostrils, there fell that day by the slaughter of the sword about the number of 3,000 men. Now I find this very interesting, right? They definitely have another story that went along with this, right? Something about the gold, the mark in their nostrils that fell that day. Because there was a couple different things, right? The first thing said the people that had given their golden earrings up are the ones who drank that, right? But I think everybody who got slaughtered was everybody who was dancing around naked and was part of this whole crime. So I think I don't know, I just don't know. Anyone out there have any ideas? I don't know. 3229. Anyone around this table have any ideas? Okay. All right, is anyone listening?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 3229. And Moshe said, offer your oblation for the shedding of the blood that is upon your hands, and make atonement for yourselves before Yahuwah, because you have smitten a man, his son, or his brother, and that you may bring a blessing upon you this day. All right, hold on. What's 3229 saying yours?
You are ordained for Yahuwah today, since each one has been against his son and his brother, so as to bring up a baraka today.
Okay, so it doesn't say anything about offer your oblation for the shame. Okay, so basically the Levites had to go basically make an atonement, right? They make an atonement for killing off all these 3,000 people. So even though they are at the hand of Moshe, even though they're at the word of Yah, there's still blood. I mean, we still know that there's blood on the ground, all sorts of stuff. It was just a really Torah-breaking moment within Yisrael here. Okay, 32:30. And it came to pass on the following day that Moshe said to the people, you have sinned a great sin, but now I will go up and pray, and will pray before Yahuwah, if haply I may obtain forgiveness of your sin. And Moshe returned and prayed before Yahuwah, and said, I supplicate of you, Yahuwah, of all the world, before whom the darkness is as the light. Now have this people sinned a great sin, and have made to them Elohim of gold. But now, if you will forgive their sin, forgive. But if not, blot me, I pray, from the book of the just, in the midst of which you have written my name. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, it is not right that I should blot out your name, but whosoever sins before me, him I will blot from my book. Now, Moshe was trying for basically, I think, forgiveness for everybody, right? He's like, look, if you won't forgive them, blot me out. I don't want to be a part of this. And then Yah did what it looks like is a compromise, right? Yah's like, look, whosoever sins before me, I will blot him out of my book. And I guess that's totally just, right? I mean, that's the thing. And it didn't say it saved everybody, but all the people that sinned before Yah sounded like they got owned on this. Okay, 32:34. But now, go lead the people to the place of which I have told you. Behold, my messenger shall proceed before you, but in the day of my visitation, I will visit upon them their sin. And the word of Yahuwah plagued the people, because they had bowed themselves to the calf that Aaron had made. So regardless of the talk that Moshe had with Yah, regardless of how much Moshe wanted everybody kind of off the hook, it doesn't look like it went that way. And it looks like everybody got pretty much what they deserved. And guys, what we deserve is spiritual death. But our Messiah Yahushua, was killed, so that we have not only a Melchizedek priest, the priest who is able to be our priest, but we also have that perfect lamb sacrifice. So we have our priesthood and we have our sacrifice, and now our Creator and his Son are looking for those who are willing to be obedient to that, because that is what this is all about. It's all about obedience. It's all about us doing what our Creator has said to do, and doing it to the very best of our abilities, and not shaking our hands or shaking our head and saying, well, the law's on the cross, nobody can keep the full law. Yeah, we all fall into sin. Every single person of us, every single day, fall into sin. But if you're willingly allowing yourself to fall into that sin because you do not care what the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator say, then there is not going to be any justification for it in Judgment Day. You will stand before our Creator naked, and we will have to go through everything that all of us have done throughout our lives. It's not going to be a good day. Judgment Day is not going to be good for any of us, but it can be less bad than it will be for those who hate our Creator and hate His ways. Jade, will you go ahead and bless our brothers and sisters?
He will bless you and guard you. He will make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. He will lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And you can put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them.
Okay. All right, everybody. We love you guys very, very much. We thank you guys for being a part of this. We hope that you guys have a wonderful week. We pray for you guys. Please keep us in prayer. And hit it, Eli. To those who love Yahuwah, may you be blessed. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine upon you. May his grace forever encounter your life. May the ways of his Torah forever embrace you and your soul. And may we all meet up in the kingdom and high five each other and give each other big hugs because we have walked the walk in the covenant with Yah. Much love to everybody. We love you.
Shabbat shalom.